This Sirach, chapter 43, verse 32. There are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. That's the true power of heaven and earth. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in his word and truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying and an exhorting video. And I'm going to run that back. Run that back, Turbo. This Sirach chapter 43, verse 32. There are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. We haven't seen anything, man. You know, we're so bound here in captivity that we haven't seen any of the Most High's creation, man. We haven't seen, what's in the waters. All right, because Esau can't even go deep in the water. They say when you look up how much of the ocean has been discovered, they say between 3 to 5%, but it could be less than that. We know Esau is a liar, but they're always discovering new life. And what's at the bottom of the ocean? We know Leviathan is in the waters, but all that pressure, all that darkness, it's creatures that live down there, man. No telling what's down there. And then we don't even know what's all on earth. There's a lot of, fruits we haven't had, vegetables we haven't had, sceneries we haven't seen, landscapes we haven't seen, what's in the heavens, what's out there in space, what's on these other planets. Okay. The Most High has saved the best for last, because when Yahweh Shai establishes the throne of David here on earth, we're going to expand across the universe, man. And Esau hates that. He wished that he could explore the universe, but the Lord has reserved that for his people. It'll be the first intergalactic kingdom, because we will have the technology to travel through space. The so-called UFOs, the chariots of Israel. Okay, we will be able to go through space, man. We would even, because we're going to be in those new bodies, we would even be able to fly through space. But I would imagine it would be more convenient and easier, to be on the ship. When you look at the show Invincible, okay, the Viltrumites, they can fly through space, but they have spaceships that they go to and fro on. The Viltrumites pretty much represents the Israelites, okay, when you look into it. But, we haven't seen anything, man. We haven't seen nothing. What is the weather like on these other planets? We're used to here. We have summer, spring, winter, fall. We have rain, sleet, hail, thunderstorms, snow. You know what I mean? There's certain places, I believe in Alaska, where they have 30 days a night. But what is it like on these other planets? What type of weather is on these other planets? What type of fruits could be on these other planets? We haven't seen anything, man. Even on this planet alone, this planet hasn't fully been searched out. So we haven't seen nothing. Okay? And when you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9, but as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High have prepared for them that love him. So we can't even imagine the things that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is going to do for his people, man. We know according to the scriptures that we're going to be a holy people again, that we will no longer be under the curses, that we will be gods over the nations, okay? We will have divine power. We will be immortal. We will never sin, never die, never get sick, never, get old, as in, getting wrinkled up, losing our vision, dementia, none of that, man. We know that none of those problems, we will have none of those problems. Okay? Our women will be in order. All right? The nations will be under us. We know those things, but we still can't even truly imagine what it's going to be like. And then to have liberty to travel. We ain't going to need no fucking passport, man. You ain't going to need to, apply for a passport or, buy a plane ticket. You got to wait in line in the airport. You got to wait in traffic to get to the airport. We will have none of those problems, man. We're literally going to be free, man. And the other nations are going to be working. They're going to be keeping, our palaces clean, or, taking care of our gardens, taking care of our animals, taking care, they're going to have a lot of work to do. All right. While we just going to reap the benefits and live, man. And we don't know what that's going to feel like, and then being able to explore the creation, man, all creation. Okay. Like, the closest Esau can get, you got videos on YouTube. Don't know how accurate it is, but I used to check them out. The sounds that come from different planets and moons. Somehow Esau got some satellites that can pick up on, I guess, like wavelengths. I don't know all the science behind it, but somehow they're able to hear like the sounds that's coming from different planets. That's the closest Esau can get in taking pictures. He can't fully see what's on these other planets. His technology, he can't even zoom in into the atmosphere and see what the terrain looks like. That whole visual concept they have of Mars is something that was made in a green screen in Arizona or something, man. Somewhere in the desert. They so-called got videos of a robot that made it to Mars, and the robot is moving around. How would you be able to control that robot all the way on Mars? And how would that robot send back pictures? It's just like how they say they went to the moon and made a phone call while they was on the moon. Esau's just a liar. But we're actually going to be able to experience these things. That's why Yahweh Shai said this. Okay, this is John chapter 14, verse 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. So Yahweh Shai is referring to the universe and these different planets. Every planet is like a house. It's like a mansion. It's a whole different world, man. The Most High, he made worlds within worlds within worlds, man. You got the microscopic world where there's life there. Then you got, the world, we're in. I wouldn't know how to phrase that, but you got our world. Okay, you got the ocean. It's a whole world down there. We got no idea what's down there. Okay, then you got outer space, and you got these other planets like And that's why Yahushua said this, in my Father's house are many mansions. He said, if it were not so, I would have told you I go to prepare a place for you. So Yahushua, he's going to share his inheritance with his elect. Okay? Because the entire universe has been granted to Yahushua. Okay? He has all things, man. He was given all. Every creation in heaven bows to him. All creation bows and reverences Yahushua. Okay? And the Most High Yahweh has given him all things. The scriptures say that. Let me grab that real quick. Okay? Let me grab that real quick, man. Believe that's John the 3rd chapter. Yep, John chapter 3, verse 35. The Father loveth the Son and have given all things into his hand. That includes the universe, man. So Yahushua, he's going to share the universe with his brothers, man. What would it, bro? We got a lot of good things to look for, man. Whatever brothers is going through, whatever brothers is suffering and dealing with, it's worth it, man. Imagine the Lord give you a planet. Imagine he gives you a solar system, a galaxy. You know what I'm saying? Esau will even tell you that there's galaxies. There's just endless amounts of galaxies. It's wild, man. Like we don't know nothing. We don't know a damn thing. But what we do know is Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is going to allow his people to explore and to truly live freely, man. Okay, while all of our enemies will be at our feet, they're going to bow down to us and do what we tell them, man. It says, he that believeth on the Son have everlasting life, and he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of the Most High abideth on him. And that's why you have to accept Yahushua, man, because he is the way. No man cometh to the Father but through him. And you got guys, which those guys, those guys are irrelevant. All those guys that were saying we ain't supposed to worship Yahushua, look where those niggas at, man. Okay? One of the niggas is back calling on Caesar Borgia, man. Calling on Jesus, man. Through sellout. But Yahushua, man, he's preparing a place for his elect, man. This whole time he's been going, man, he's been doing a lot of things, man. And of course, he's coming to get vengeance. He's coming to get his people, put his people on, beginning with the elect. But it's gonna be beautiful, man. We haven't seen anything, brothers. Even when you go to the zoo, it's like, what is that? What is that called? It's all type of, like, the Most High, he's all about variety. There's all type of birds, frogs, snakes, lizards. Even when it come down to fruits, they say, Esau will say, I used to be heavy into it. I looked it up before. There's like over 10,000 varieties of bananas. You got a banana called, I believe it's called the blue Java banana. It's another name for it, but they say it tastes like vanilla ice cream. We're so used to just the same type of banana you see in a grocery store that doesn't even have seeds, by the way. Okay. Esau will say there's over like 10,000 varieties of grapes, over 1,000 varieties of watermelon. Like, what the fuck? 1,000 varieties of watermelon? And we only know one? Which I looked up pictures. I've seen like a yellow watermelon. I wonder what that tastes like. You know, like, man, like we truly have seen but few of his works. Okay? But we're laboring to enter into that rest so that we can explore the creation of the Lord. Because that's a part of the rest, man, exploring. It's going to be a lot of exploring. Once we set things in order, man, you know, we get these heathens in order. All right. We set up our sons as, you know, kings and governors over certain areas, you know, and you know, things is going, you know, good, you know, righteousness is established. We're going to do a lot of traveling, man, a lot of exploring, bro, a lot, you know, but just a quick video I wanted to do, just some thoughts I was having. I thought about, you know, those few precepts, just wanted to put it on a video. Lord willing, it was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.